The government will have to come to terms with why things went the way that they did on Saturday quite quickly, because both houses of Parliament are sitting again this week. In terms of that, the government will have to put forward a different proposal, markets path forward, now that one part, or at least one part of its proposed answer to try and address centuries-old disadvantage has failed. So there will inevitably be quite a number of questions on this topic in question time later today, but we're yet to hear great detail about the government's pathway forward. They are holding a cabinet meeting today, which will inevitably include this at high on the agenda. Of course, they would have been talking about proposed alternatives given the way the polls were headed in the lead up to Saturday.
Nicole, the opposition had pitched a second referendum. What are they saying now?
That's right. So on several occasions during the campaign, Peter Dutton did mention putting forward a separate proposal to change the Constitution, specifically to recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders as the nation's first people in the nation's birth certificate. He said that that would be a less controversial pathway forward and would attract the required support. He then walked back, or stepped back from that, before again mentioning it. We haven't heard him comment too much on this specifically of late, but asked this morning what it would mean and if the coalition was looking to pursue that potential policy. He said they would be consulting on the path forward.
All of our policy, obviously, as I said on Saturday night, is going to be reviewed in the process that Karen and Jacinta will lead now. I think that's important, but I think it's clear that the Australian public is probably over the referendum process for some time.
And both parties have lessons to learn from this, with Labor voters in some seats supporting the No campaign rather than the government's position to back the Voice. Well, what were formerly Liberal Party blue ribbon seats, particularly in Sydney and Melbourne, which are now held by Teal independents, voted in favour of the Voice. So that there are lessons for both sides, both major parties, to learn heading forward.